Okay, so in the last video, I talked about whether or not you should keep your action figure boxes. In this video, I'm going to be talking about whether or not you should even open your action figures at all. So I know everyone says this, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Whether or not you choose to open your action figures or leave them in the box is completely up to you. There's no right or wrong way to enjoy your collection. It's your collection, you've bought these things. You can do whatever you want with them. That being said, I'm going to go through some of the pros of both options here, and you can decide what's right for you. Also, full disclosure, I do open nearly all of my action figures, so I may be a little biased. Just keep that in mind. Anyways, let's get on with it. So I'm going to start off with the pros of keeping your action figures in the box. So number one is the value of the figure will stay consistent or should increase. Okay, so this is kind of a no-brainer, but an action figure that has never been opened is going to be worth significantly more than one that has been opened. This is especially true as time goes on and there are less and less of that particular figure in mint condition available. You'll notice that the value is going to be pretty dramatically different between unopened figures and ones that have been opened. If you don't believe me, go to eBay and look up any Transformers, Star Wars, or Marvel figure released, let's say, 5 years ago or more, and look at the sold listings. Look at what the figure has sold for, let's say over the past few months, and compare the ones that are opened with the ones that have been unopened. You're gonna notice, in most cases, I would imagine, a pretty significant difference. The ones that are unopened are going to sell for significantly more. Sometimes that is 20% more, sometimes 50% more. Sometimes they may sell for double the price of one that's been opened. It just is what it is. So yeah, the value of the figure is retained or increases over time if you leave it in the box. So from a purely objective standpoint, action figures in the box are more valuable than action figures that have been taken out of the box. Number two, the resale value. So to kind of build off the last point, if you plan on reselling your figures in the future, and you want to make a profit on them, then you should probably keep them in the box and leave them unopened. If you see your action figures as an investment of some sort, as something that is going to make you significant amounts of money in the future, don't open your figures. That's not to say that you can't make money on used figures. That's not to say that a used figure won't sell for significantly more than it retailed for 5 years down the road or whatever. But for the most part, keeping them in the box, you know, if you plan on selling your figures in the future, that's the way to go. Don't open them. So next up, number three, we have the novelty of it. Frankly, it's probably more impressive to your family, friends, coworkers, the people in your life who probably don't understand anything about your hobby and kind of think it's crazy that you collect figures to begin with. To them, it's probably more impressive if you keep them all in the box because that means, you know, you could potentially sell them in the future and make quite a bit of money. They probably see it like you're sitting on a possible gold mine. And, you know, maybe that's just the way you enjoy your figures. Maybe you don't really want to take them out of the box. You know, you see no real value in posing them or displaying them or anything like that. Maybe to you, it just kind of feels like once the figure is opened, it's no longer valuable. You're not interested in it anymore, and the box and the art and all of that are part of the figure too. So in that case, I mean, yeah, the novelty of keeping the figure in the box and leaving it unopened, that's a good reason for some people to never open them. All right, so those are all the reasons why maybe you'd want to keep your action figures in the box and never open them. So now we're going to take a look at the reasons why you should open your action figures. And it really seems like there is one big reason that kind of encompasses all the reasons, and that is you can actually play with the action figures. When I say play with your action figures, I don't mean bash them into each other like you did when you were 5 or bring them into the sandbox or anything like that. But if that's your thing, who am I to judge? But that's not really what I mean. What I mean by that is pose them, display them, take photos of them and share them on your Instagram, like I do. Link to that in the description if you're interested. You can do stop motion with them. Like I said, create awesome action figure displays. Just kind of mess around with them while you're watching a movie or something. There's just so many fun things you can do with action figures once they're opened. If you have younger family members and they're, responsible, you can let them play with them, let them check them out or whatever. This just kind of encompasses all the reasons to open your action figures. Basically, at least for me, and I really do think most action figure collectors, you really get enjoyment out of the figures when they're opened. Like I said, you can pose, display, play with them, do stop motion with them, do photography, all kinds of fun stuff. No, they're not going to be objectively as valuable as they are if you were to keep them in the box, but, you actually get to enjoy them. Now, that's not saying that people who keep their action figures in the box don't enjoy them or can't enjoy them. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying for those of us who do take them out of the packaging, I feel like this is the big reason why, is so that you can play with them, for lack of a better word. You can enjoy them. But yeah, I don't really have any other reasons why you'd want to open your action figures. From an investment standpoint, like I said earlier, it's best to leave them in the box, but for at least myself and I would imagine most action figure collectors, the enjoyment really comes out of opening the figures and just having fun with them. Anyways, that about wraps things up. Let me know what you guys think though. Do you open your action figures? If so, why or why not? And remember, there's no right or wrong way to enjoy your action figure collection. It's all about your own preferences. Just because I enjoy taking them out of the box and, displaying them and all that jazz, doesn't mean I think any less of someone who would keep them in the box. It's all preference. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. I have 2 Instagram accounts, one for this channel and one for my photography. Feel free to check those out and have a good one.